All right, welcome back. Mike-Bamiloye, many pastors are not enjoying their marriage. Let's talk about this, shall we? Shall we? Let's have it. Let's have it. I need that as a sound effect here. Toby and Tribe says, experiencing a common loss has the tendency to bring people together. I hope they have both matured and don't make the same mistakes that led to their distancing from each other. Yes, amen. I pray, I hope so. You know. So let's talk about Mike-Bamiloye. Mike-Bamiloye seems to be trending quite a bit in recent times. We all grew up on Mike-Bamiloye. As we knew him as what did we know him as? Hold on one second, let me decline that. We knew him as Ishawuru in the series Ayamatanga. I think I've covered him here in the past, Matanga. I think it's called Agbaranla, the ultimate power, something like that. But I watched the Agbaranla, the Yoruba version. My wife actually till today she claims she has nightmares from the Matanga. But I think she has also nightmares from Kotorun, Ayetoto, Aya Camera. Those series with all the witches. I think once in a while they still put one of the ladies in that movie. They put her on skits and stuff. She looks like what we might consider a real witch. Have you seen witches before? Me, I've never seen a real witch before, but I know what Yoruba Nollywood movies paint them to look like, and I think that's what most of you think witches look like. But anyway, sometimes I would argue that sometimes witches look like regular people, like you and I, around us, living with us, sleeping in and out with us. But anyway, let's get back to Ishawuru. Baba Mike-Bamiloye. Mike-Bamiloye, this is what it looks like today, by the way. I think it's aging. How old is he? I wonder how old is he? Like, he's 64 years old. I think he looks good for 64 years old. That's it right there. But this was this is what it looked like in those series back then. It was acting a character called the Ishawuru. All right. So he's a Nigerian gospel film actor. I think he's also a pastor because he acted only gospel movies. So gospel, just Christian stuff, right? So they call him a dramatist, a producer, a director, of course. He's an evangelist and the founder and president of the film production company Mount Zion Faith Ministries. Yes, Mount Zion Television. We all grew up on it in the 90s. All right, so they had many movies. I think they also did a movie called The Beginning of the End. All the movies that they played in your church when VCRs, video cassette recorder, was coming out back then, they played, everybody sit down and say, heaven, this is what heaven and hellfire would look like. And then they start praying fervently so that we don't end up in hellfire. Heaven is the goal. Anyway, so why are we talking about Mike-Bamiloye today? There's a report here on Daily Post Nigeria. I'm going to read it and then we'll talk. Popular Nigerian gospel film actor and the founder of the Mount Zion film production, Mike-Bamiloye, has stated that many pastors are not enjoying marriage. Mike-Bamiloye has stated that many pastors are not enjoying marriage. Why? Mike-Bamiloye made the claim in a now viral post on his X handle. While speaking about women who make their marriages difficult, he noted that many pastors are enduring their marriages rather than enjoying it. He explained further that those pastors' wives believe in using their husbands' ministries to manipulate them. And I quote, several women believe that pastors cannot beat them. Wait, what? Several women believe that pastors cannot beat them like unbelievers or divorce them at will. They use the man's calling or ministry to blackmail him. These were the kind of movies he would put together as a story back in the days. I think they still do movies, but I haven't seen their movies in a long time, probably in a good 30 years. But anyway, several pastors are not enjoying their marriage, but enduring it. All right, so that's what he said. And of course, the whole internet went into shambles as soon as he said it. Speaking of shambles, we have another story coming up. The whole internet went into shambles. What did I say? It went into shambles. Many people had a lot to say. Okay, and let me see if I can find some of those comments, and then we can talk. Um, I believe a lot of people struggle with English language. That's what I've noticed in recent times. That's not to say I speak better English than anybody. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, if that's what you're thinking, this is another reason why deep thinking. Okay, critical thinking. I'm not talking about somebody can speak English better than the other. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about comprehension now. Okay, maybe even another level above comprehension. The way people comprehend words and how they combine sentences and can be quite triggering if they're not well traveled, or some people are actually they've traveled but they're not well traveled. There are people that have traveled but they're not well traveled. Maybe they traveled to Toronto, Canada, but they haven't left Toronto, Canada in 30 years. Yeah, that's not good enough. That's not well traveled. That's just japa. Okay, that is just japa. Let's be clear on these things. Okay, it's very important because I think it will help us understand a lot of issues. Okay, it will help us understand a lot of issues. I think many, and I appreciate TikTok for this. Many more and more people need to start creating content or making submissions in their native language. And I think a lot of people, they don't mean any harm. And I'm not giving excuses for mike-bamiloye now, but bringing the idea of beat a person into that or beat a wife into that conversation is highly problematic. He didn't mean it like that. Shout out to him. Congratulations. If many people are going to think he meant that, like he's making beating okay, then he needs to adjust his language, because everything is going to get lost. Okay? Everything, whatever he meant to say, I'm sure he meant well. It's going to get lost in the source of things, because what's the point if you're communicating and the point you're trying to pass across is not landing properly? Isn't that it's useless at that point in time, right? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it becomes useless at that point in time. So he has a lot to say in this. He has a lot to say, but I think, and the problem with some of these elderly people is that the coconut head no be here. Even if somebody under them say, "Daddy, let's adjust it this way," say, "No, we don't need to be diplomatic about this. We need to say the truth and say the truth." But the average person you're speaking to cannot even receive what you're saying, sir, because they get lost in the middle of social media trying to help you interpret, sir. Anyway, I'm reading some of the comments here on Instablog Nigeria. Somebody said, "My parents are pastors. I can tell you their marriage is heaven on earth." Okay. Somebody said, "Fact, one calls his wife honey in church and monkey at home." Okay, so they are saying the pastors. Okay. The pastor is calling his wife honey in church and monkey at home. See, again, this is what I tell people. I said, tell me the rest of the story, right? That doesn't mean that's everybody's story. Some women may be evil. He might be right? But then why do you bring the conversation of beating wife into that? It doesn't make any sense. But I'm sure it makes a lot of sense for him when he was saying it, okay? Somebody said, we listen and we take note. Okay, they are saying the beat part. They are paying attention to the beat part. Somebody said, I need help regarding a serious issue with, let me see, what is this? No. Let's see. And vice versa too. Some pastors are busy sleeping with the hottest girls in the church. Somebody said, this is very deep. So many people will not understand this. See? I like as this man no send anybody. See? He just come here and talk his mind and keep it moving. But what he said is true though. Okay. See? Truth. We have a lot of truth tellers on today's episode. So stay tuned. I like as this man no send anybody. Okay, he has a lot of bad opinions about marriages. He's probably speaking from personal relatives. No, I don't think he meant that. I think it's not knowing how to talk in social media era. And also having coconut head on top of that, say, don't tell me how to talk. Whereas in any era in life, everything is a moving target. You do have to pay attention to how you're being received or how your personal behaviors are being received in public. It's called social intelligence, it's called social awareness, and every leader must understand that. Especially if you're a thought leader, you need to understand that. Okay, because unfortunately, some people are going to take what you're saying, they're going to go repeat it, and then it's not gonna fly. Because what do you mean beat? What do you mean beat? Anyway, so I don't want to stretch it. I just want to make that point. I think a lot of this issue, I don't think they mean any harm. I think, however, people like Mike-Bamiloye, people with native tongue, Yoruba, Igbo, right? There's a guy called X, aka on TikTok. He speaks English, but he claims all this traditional stuff, but he needs to speak Igbo. I doubt if you'll be yarning the dust he yarns on the internet if he was speaking Igbo. Not only that, we'll understand it better and we'll get some even better lessons out of it. English is not anybody's mate. Okay. What about me? Should I speak Yoruba? I actually have considered it. I might start a whole channel just speaking Yoruba about this kind of stuff. God help me, because my Yoruba is not the best. But so many pastors are not enjoying their marriage. Where's the rest of the story, Baba? At least tell us the rest of the story. I'm sure we probably took him out of context. He probably has a longer story on Twitter, but again, these viral moments also goes a long way. Why are we talking about women who think they can just, if they thought you can beat them, maybe that's why. Maybe they're lashing out. Maybe they're like I'm about to leave this marriage. Maybe that marriage does not have intrinsic value. Maybe she's just waiting for one day and where she will gain enough courage and she will say she's out. Or maybe Baba, maybe it's good riddance to bad rubbish for Baba. Maybe Baba should be leaving that marriage. We don't have to force marriage. I think too many people are forcing marriage too, between the wrong sets of people. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let me know what your thoughts are around that. Is Baba just speaking the truth? Maybe Baba should adjust, or maybe Baba should just speak Yoruba. Mike-Bamiloye is a Yoruba man. He should just speak Yoruba. What are your thoughts around this? Start paying attention to it. I think some people need to really teach us. I think they have some value they can teach us better when they speak their native tongue. I think it goes a long way. Or maybe even more pidgin people self. I think that helps a lot, But I'm noticing that there's a disconnect in languaging. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.